to try to do this without the best I can. So first and foremost, thank you again. And I am going to read this off because I don't know. I'm glad so many of us were here to celebrate the life of Barb and the impact she had on all of us. It's been a year without her in our lives, and I can say I feel her loss every day, as some of you do also. A few words come to mind when I think about Barb, but not limited to: intelligent, loving, social, selfless, and giving. When it came to family and friends, you were on the highest level in her mind, and she would do anything for them. When she put her mind to something, it was going to happen. She loved to cook, bake, entertain friends with the side of interior decorating. Our own personal Martha Stewart. She loved doing crafts, loved finding bargains. She didn't sit in the back of the bus, she was driving it. And that was incorporated in everything she would undertake for the most part. She loved giving back to her community, be it volunteering for the Westerville Fire and Police Department, doing the Mother's Day brunch, and furnishing all the desserts for 17 years for the guests. And in the earlier years, in Columbus, doing Sunday mornings with Chuck at the homeless breakfast. I could go on, but the bottom line is, she touched everyone's life in a different way, and it was in a positive manner. Which makes the loss of her even harder. Now, on a personal note, the best thing to happen to me was that we crossed paths and spending the next 20 years together. We were perfect for each other, and I can only hope other people can find the love and compassion and friendship that her and I got to experience. I'd like to welcome, after I do my story, anyone who wants to do stories afterwards, because we'd all like to enjoy hearing from. Well, here's mine. I got props. You know I got to take it to the next level. All right. So this was about 10, 12 years. Some of you know the story. There was a big loud crash in our apartment down in the basement. Of course, I'm thinking the worst, that someone's breaking in. So of course, don't call 911, don't do, I'm gonna go downstairs. And I said, Barb, grab my cell phone. This is a cell phone. So I go downstairs and there's a landing halfway down the stairs. And you know how Barb is. She's not standing in the back. She comes all the way down, and I turn around, and where's the cell phone? She brings it back, this back, and she goes, I'm here to help. And I'm like, what are you gonna do? Now granted, if someone was in the house, we're in this landing, they're in the basement. And we're having a discussion what she's going to do with the bat. She's going to bonk him in the head is what her words were. And I said, all you're going to do is upset them. Or you're going to bonk me on the head. Either way, it's not going to work out. So for 4 or 5 minutes, we're having this discussion on this landing. Now, I don't know if there was anyone in the house at that time, but they had enough time to clean up, close the window, and leave. But that was one of my stories with Barb. And in one last side story, this was not as long. When anyone ever called, let's say the cable bill went up $10, $12, and they would talk to me. Barb and I have different personalities. Me, I'll cancel you, I'm done with you. Well, Barb, on the other hand, does it a little bit differently. So I go, hold on, you're talking to the wrong person. Let me get Guido. And they're like, who? My wife. Hold on. Give it to her. I leave the room because the way she does things were a little bit different than I. 5 minutes later, we got our rate cut on our bill. So, Nathan. Oh, Andrew. Sorry, Andrew.